I'm Vanessa Tyler, and welcome to What's Eating Harlem, where we cover the most exciting community in the world. There is so much going on here in Harlem. Let's get started. What's Eating Harlem has done something we've never done, and this chef is the reason why. Guess where we are? A Harlem daycare owner who believes all kids should have a shot at success. So much so, she is paying for their college education herself. Mr. Entertainment himself, Harlem's favorite MC, talks about growing up different and the act that is no act. All of that on this edition of What's Eating Harlem. Closed captioning supported by Chocolat Restaurant Lounge, 2223 Frederick Douglass Boulevard, Harlem. Everyone meets at the bar at Chocolat. Late night weekend dining too. Chocolat Restaurant Lounge. What's Eating Harlem, funded in part by Cove Lounge. Situated in the heart of Harlem, it embodies the spirit and vitality of its community, delivering a unique blend of cool sophistication and urban edge. Harlem is welcoming a new season, White Truffle Season. Urbani truffles, just 24 hours ago in Italy underground, and put on a plane exported worldwide, just landing in New York, now heading uptown. White Truffle Season is here, and Urbani Truffles is a proud supporter of What's Eating Harlem. Jammin' in Harlem's oldest live dive bar. Paris Blues, live music every night. Owner Mr. Alabama Sam Hargrass will make sure you have a ball. Eat, drink, join the party. Harlem's own Paris Blues, 121st and Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard, 7th Avenue, Harlem, is a proud supporter of What's Eating Harlem. The Groove at Ponte Bistro. Mixing live music with upscale French African cuisine. At the corner of 139th and Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard, and at their other location in Gramercy Park at 218 3rd Avenue. The food, the fun, it's a party at Ponte. Ponte Bistro, 139th and 7th Avenue, Uptown. Delighted to support What's Eating Harlem. The guests are arriving, the beautiful people are here, the drinks are flowing. It is opening night at Barcelona Bites. It will be some night.
There's a lot of that goes behind the scenes that people don't know on a restaurant opening. You know, it's one of the most nerve-wracking, most intense, most exciting opportunities you can have.
Consulting executive chef Kelvin Fernandez can take the heat in any kitchen.
Thank you. Yo lo pongo de este lado. Póngame una tabla aquí.
But this night is big for his culinary creations. Cocos. It's cilantro, pesto, caramelized onions, and goat cheese.
This one's really nice and simple. We got a lot of burst of flavors, the sweetness of the onions, the nice herbaceousness of the cilantro pesto, the tanginess of the goat cheese.
Barcelona Bites is the kind of restaurant where attention is paid to every single bite. It is a tapas spot. So, Chef Kelvin has to immediately get the attention of your taste buds.
I think the hardest thing to do in the culinary scene is make a dish exciting from beginning to end. I think that's why tapas and small plates are so exciting, because it's a couple bites and it's always leaves you wanting more. So we have our fresh tortillas that we make in-house. We cook them to order here with a little bit of oil.
Chef Kelvin is going to pack a lot of flavor on that tortilla.
Have some beautiful braised beef short rib that we cooked for about 6 hours.
Meanwhile, the party is on and they have no idea of the deliciousness that awaits them in the kitchen.
A little bit of fresh pico de gallo. We top it off with a little bit of guacamole and a little bit of cilantro crema. Just gives it the perfect bite.
Some microgreens, and there you have it.
And this is our signature short rib taco. And this is going to be one of our #1 sellers. And this is what's going to be passed by tonight as well.
They're gonna love it.
But tonight, What's Eating Harlem isn't in Harlem, we're in the Bronx. But make no mistake, there is a connection because the chef is from Harlem.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Harlem, and being able to see how far the community in Harlem has gotten with the food scene, I'm just so excited and happy to be a part of being able to go there and show support.
It was in Harlem in this class he got hooked on cooking. Well, at first he got hooked on the girl, a schoolboy crush at age 15.
I fell in love with a girl in high school and followed her into a cooking class, and I can thank her for where I'm at today now.
Because of that class, he won a scholarship.
Yeah, I won a $40,000 scholarship to go to college.
What?
In high school, yeah.
Now just turning 30, he's been winning ever since.
I became the youngest executive chef at the age of 22, and that was one of my first biggest challenges. I competed and finished as a finalist on Food Network's Chopped. Most recently, I beat Bobby Flay in the show Beat Bobby Flay. So it's just so many different things that are coming my way. I have also won top 30 under 30 for Forbes in food and wine, and just excited to have Barcelona Bites under my wing as well.
Barcelona Bites is in Riverdale, located at 220 West 242nd Street. It is a large space, 2 floors, can seat 150 dinner guests, space for dining, and a nightclub lounge.
I think Barcelona Bites is going to be the next big thing. You have so many different people living in this area. Like you said, you have Manhattan College that's literally a couple steps away. You have a lot of different, you have a Latin community up here. You have people that love food. And I think the foodies are really coming up out here. And giving them an opportunity to have good food in the area is something that we've been missing. So I think I have a tough job on my hand, but with the help of my team, I think we're going to do an exciting and a great job with it.
Love food, love to party, love for a chef who has made it his life's mission to serve up satisfaction one small bite at a time.
If you want to be great in something, you have to sacrifice a lot. And you really have to be selfish and putting your career first.
What's Eating Harlem wants to get you involved. You have a story idea? Tell us. Go to our website, what'seatingharlem.com. There, you can sign up and become a member and get discounts to some of the places we feature. Remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
this is his buttons. He have 4. You see that? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Gail Davis just loves the children of Harlem, so much so that she has made a commitment so unique, unusual, unheard of.
I should have you guys read to me.
Gail Davis, the owner of Round the Clock Daycare, which is really open round the clock from 6:30 in the morning until 11:30 at night, even open weekends, with several sites in Harlem and the Bronx. Now get this, she is sending the children to college and paying for it herself.
How many children do you expect to help this way?
As many as I can.
Children like Jamoy Roach. He is now 10, but attended round-the-clock daycare when he was a toddler. And yes, Gail Davis has a college fund set aside for him.
I think it's amazing because most kids don't really have the money to put up for their college, and what this daycare is doing right now is helping people.
Helping people and shocking them too. Jamoy's mother couldn't believe it.
My mother was so happy, she kind of cried for joy.
Jamoy wants to be a scientist and work for NASA. Gail saw the rocket scientist in him. In fact, she calls Jamoy Roach Dr. Roach, prophesying his future. She is invested in these children, literally, and figured out a way to do it a little at a time.
Every month, $50 in each of their accounts. Right now, I believe I have 69 children in the program.
And she has been doing it for years. She can't even say how much she's spent so far. Fundraisers help, but a lot she pays from out of her own pockets. These children are worth it. Gail Davis expects every one of them to go to college. Funny, she even names each classroom in her daycare after a college or university. She wishes she could afford to send them all, but financially she can't. So she selects the children with the spark in their eyes.
It's a hard decision. It's a hard decision to make because sometimes we can only pick one child.
Why does she do it? She says she gets them so small and often wonders what they will become.
I started doing universal pre-kindergarten in 2000, and I'd spent 10 months with the children, and at the moving on ceremony, the graduation from the UPK program, it occurred to me that I'm not going to see, I may never see these children. And it took me about 4 years to figure out a way to hold on to a few of them. And I'm talking to my financial advisor about my son 529 scholarship, and I asked him if I can do it for the kids, and he said, yes, you can.
Then came the details, how to set up the funds.
I said, well, is there a way that I can do it that parents cannot touch it and it go directly to the child? And he's like, yes, you just make it the property of Round the Clock Nursery.
Sounds perfect, but can you believe some parents didn't want the money?
But we have parents who turn it down. There are a couple of parents that I had to actually wring their arm and force them to take it. One parent told me that her 5-year-old child will be going into the military when she turned 18. I'm like, but you don't know that. And another parent said to me, well, why did you give it to her? I did not ask you. I just ignore it and just do what, this child was chosen and the child deserved it.
So far, none of the children are old enough to attend college yet. Meanwhile, the money builds and builds.
I am estimating that by the time they're ready for college, it probably could be as maybe 15,000.
That's why Jamoy, aka Dr. Roach, is so grateful to Miss Gail.
I think Miss Gail is a very amazing woman and a helpful woman, and I think she's going to live long because right now she's helping like millions of people get their children into a college.
My name is Lucius Conway.
MC, band leader, promoter, host.
Come bring me your softness.
And of course, crooner. There is no one like Lucius Conway.
Woman, don't you know with you I'm born again.
And on this day, he's doing what he loves, making people feel welcome.
Where are you guys from? Canada. I know you're from Canada. Where are you from? Germany. From Germany?
We caught up with him at Paris Blues, Harlem's most famous dive bar, owned by Sam Hargress, a.k.a. Alabama Sam, who Lucius calls Harlem's king. Lucius Conway should be called Harlem's ambassador.
That's actually what Sam named me. When I came to the club in 2013, I was just being who I am. My mother said I never met a stranger, and I would give a stranger the shirt off my back, which is kind of typical of who I am, my personality. So when I came in, I spoke to people. Hello, how are you? My name is Lucius, and I just started greeting people. So in all of my emails that I submit from Paris Blues Promotions at Gmail, it says Lucius Conway, Paris Blues Ambassador. I always had a gregarious personality. I would be walking down the street singing, and people would know, here comes Lucius, because I was just walking. It was just who I am.
And who he is has always been something he had to live with, and others had to get used to, ever since he was a boy.
I was born in River Rouge, Michigan, which is a small suburb of Detroit, southwest Detroit in particular.
He grew up with his mom and 5 sisters, only man in the house in the segregated community of River Rouge, Michigan. There was always something different about him. Here he was in the land of Motown.
Growing up in Motown, as it were, we heard rhythm and blues all the time. My sisters, and I mean, the house rocked to that. With the exception of my room. When you walked into my room, you'd hear Neil Diamond singing, September morn, we danced until the night became a brand new day. And they were like, I'm 12, 13, and why are you listening to this dentist office music? Dentist office. That's what they call it, dentist office or elevator music. It spoke to me, as opposed to the R&B that they listened to.
Choice of music wasn't the only thing that stood out.
When I spoke, I pretty much always spoke like this, in what has come to be known as very articulately. And my sisters would say, why are you talking so proper? And why are you trying to talk like a white person? But this is how I talk, and it always has been. It's not a voice that I put on, it's the one I'm born with.
Faced with the proper talking, easy listening child who seemed so different, school officials thought something must be wrong.
The school system, public school system, had me tested psychologically, psychiatrically, whatever. And they determined I was in the upper 6th percentile of the above average norm.
As a child, he hung with the teachers instead of the students.
They said, you're 15 years chronologically, but you're operating with the mind of a 45-year-old man. So the way that I think is far beyond my years. So I'm not, when I was 12 and 13, I was giving my mother political advice about who to vote for because I followed the campaigns and I followed the politicians, and I was interested in changing the world. Woman, don't you know with you I'm born again.
The boy who thought and dressed like a man.
I never wore blue jeans. I hated blue jeans. So when I was going to elementary school, I was wearing dress slacks and sport coats. And from the projects, mind you.
And to this day, Lucius Conway is always cleaner than the Board of Health.
It's a performance. And so I dress the part. It's a performance for me. And it's almost like I'm out of the 40s or 50s. You gotta get the socks, the red socks. When people see me and stop me on the street and can I take a photograph of you, and you look like the old Harlem, and you look like what Harlem used to be.
The old Harlem is gone, and with so many new places, Lucius brings his hosting, singing, emceeing skills to many of them. From the iconic Paris Blues to the new hotspots like Cherie and Gin Fizz in the new Harlem.
I embrace the change, and I try to help others find value in the change as well. People are people everywhere you go. Experiences are common among us. Emotions are common among us. Music is a uniter of us across, around the world. And so that's one of the ways that I try to bring people together.
Doing so much to please the people, yet no one to please him.
It's me being a professional at what I do. When I go home, there's nobody there. There's nobody to call and talk about the evening or to say, hey, listen, let's catch lunch or coffee or dinner. That doesn't exist for me, which is probably one of the reasons that I'm so good at it.
But life and laughter go on. The entertainer takes it to a new level. Add actor to his resume.
I just finished a film where I play a New York detective with a son who gets caught drug trafficking. It's another short film, and I got to wear his badge and his gun and the whole nine.
Oh, by the way, don't keep him in the easy listening box. Sure, he is the Black Sinatra.
Come give me your sweetness. Now this youth, there is no weakness. Lying safe within your arms, I'm born again.
He can also turn on a dime and bring you the funk.
I still have this idea of changing the world, and I think I'm doing it.
That's all the time we have for now. Join us next time on What's Eating Harlem. I'm Vanessa Tyler. See you uptown.
Closed captioning supported by Chocolat Restaurant Lounge, 2223 Frederick Douglass Boulevard, Harlem. Everyone meets at the bar at Chocolat. Late night weekend dining too. Chocolat Restaurant Lounge. What's Eating Harlem, funded in part by Cove Lounge. Situated in the heart of Harlem, it embodies the spirit and vitality of its community, delivering a unique blend of cool sophistication and urban edge. Harlem is welcoming a new season, White Truffle Season. Urbani truffles, just 24 hours ago in Italy underground, and put on a plane exported worldwide, just landing in New York, now heading uptown. White Truffle Season is here, and Urbani Truffles is a proud supporter of What's Eating Harlem.
To become a member of What's Eating Harlem, go to www.whatseatingharlem.com and sign up for special events like wine tastings and food tastings. Also, join us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. If you have any ideas for stories about Harlem, send them to info@whatseatingharlem.com.